It is perfection beyond the bounds of reality, sensations too vivid to be termed a mere dream. This is a meticulously engineered sanctuary of the 18th century, a world where François Boucher distilled the anxieties of a fading empire into a timeless pastoral illusion. Boucher was more than a painter, he was a visual alchemist. He blended the raw desires of Versailles with the softest pastels of the sky, erasing every trace of human labour. At a time when the French monarchy began to fracture under its own weight, Boucher's studio became a factory for denial. Here the skin is never wrinkled, the flowers never fade, and the empire never falls. Our purpose here transcends a simple indulgence in beauty. We are here to confront how a single brushstroke can paralyse the conscience of an era. In Jupiter and Callisto, myth sheds its sacred epic shell, transforming into a sophisticated game of deception. The king of gods discards his thunderbolt for the soft touch of a female guise. Boucher focuses not on the divine transformation, but on the psychological tension of the seduction. The forest is not a wilderness, but a velvet-lined boudoir of the elite. Notice the discarded quiver and the hunting trophies. These symbols of Diana's chastity are reduced to mere decorative props, framing a scene of mortal desire. By dissolving the boundary between the divine and the erotic, Boucher offers the viewer a safe transgression. A world where the most scandalous sins are wrapped in the elegance of pastel hues. In Venus Consoling Love, the being who maintains cosmic harmony is reinvented as a graceful inhabitant of a pastoral dream. Commissioned for a private chateau, the mystical awe has evaporated, replaced by a seductive presence to be possessed. Boucher tames the wilderness into a fragrant sanctuary. The forest is stripped of its danger, replaced by velvet moss and silken drapes that mimic the luxury of a Parisian salon. The interaction between Venus and Cupid is stripped of divine weight, becoming a theatrical performance. The mythical roses and doves are mere ornaments. It's in a world where even love's pain is a playful fiction. This is the ultimate secularization. Divinity is domesticated into high-end decor, offering the elite a perfect, painless reflection of their own cultivated narcissism. Venus, born from the sea foam, transcends awe to become an object of pure indulgence. Under Boucher's brush, the divinity of Olympus is summoned to a lavish court banquet. The arc of the crimson silk across the sky forcibly directs the wandering eye to a single point, the serene, untroubled face of the goddess. This dynamic vortex is not a recreation of myth, but a precisely engineered psychological barrier designed to silence the anxieties of a fading era. The dark storm clouds are castrated into decorative backdrops. In this space, where the wild ocean is tamed into the texture of silk, myth is no longer a force of nature, but a controlled stage. A density of figures that allows not an inch of void, a deliberate scheme to leave the viewer no room to recall the truths lying beyond the canvas. The artificial luster of the tangled bodies is not a hymn to vitality, but a testament to the engineering of oblivion that masks reality with brilliant noise. Boucher's studio was not a sanctuary of inspiration, but a high-precision factory. It produced a collective amnesia for a society on the brink of revolution. By refining every wrinkle into a curve, he ensured that for his patrons, the sun would never set on Versailles. A paradise frozen in time while the world outside was burning. In the allegory of painting, Boucher unveils the blueprint of his own creation. Painting rejects being a window to reality, choosing instead to be a strictly calculated aesthetic construction. A world where even the divine is sketched into a refined fiction. The artist's hand does not capture life, it manufactures ideal forms. Behind the delicate pastel clouds and the playful cherubs lies a calculated machinery of beauty, that erases every trace of human labour. This is the final stage of the factory of denial. Reality is perfectly replaced by a flawless surface, offering the viewer a sanctuary where the messy truths of the world can never penetrate. In Diana leaving her bath, the chaste goddess of the hunt has forgotten her bow. Boucher captures her not in the heat of a mythic chase, but in a fragile moment of domestic intimacy. The divine huntress is reinvented as a Parisian aristocrat. Her porcelain skin, untouched by the sun or the wild, glows with a luminosity that belongs to the salon, not the forest. Observe the discarded quiver and the fallen game. These icons of the hunt are reduced to mere aesthetic props, framing the tactile sensuality of the goddess's form. The wilderness has shed its sacred majesty, domesticated into a soft, velvet backdrop. By grounding the divine in the sensory, Boucher transforms a goddess into an object of the elite gaze. In Leader and the Swan, the divine encounter is stripped of its cosmic weight. The cosmic weight has evaporated from the divine encounter, replaced only by irresistible tactile seduction. Boucher focuses only on the tactile, the softness of the feathers, the warmth of the skin. He transforms a myth of transformation into a visual feast of sensation. By the time Boucher finishes his brushstroke, the gods of Olympus have become elegant accessories for a Rococo salon. They are no longer icons to fear, but mirrors to reflect the narcissism of an era. In the Toilette of Venus, the goddess now presents a perfectly engineered, aesthetic performance before the mirror. She is a performance. Observe the cascade of silk and pearls. Every object is rendered with more vitality than the goddess herself. In Boucher's hands, the sacred body becomes just another luxury texture to be consumed by the aristocratic eye. In Rinaldo and Armida, the epic battlefield is traded for an enchanted garden. The hero's duty has dissolved into a languid golden afternoon. Notice the mirror held by Armida. It is the focal point of this divine entrapment. Here, Boucher isn't painting a story of magic. He is painting the psychology of surrender. The warrior Rinaldo has been domesticated by desire. His armour lies forgotten as he becomes just another decorative element in Armida's and Boucher's artificial paradise. Every paradise built on denial has an expiration date. While Boucher painted eternal spring, the winter of the revolution was gathering outside the palace gates. The very perfection that fascinated the court became its own prison. A world so flawless that it could no longer breathe, no longer change, no longer survive. Boucher's legacy is not a lie, but a testament to the human desire to forget. He gave us the noble fiction, a beautiful golden mask placed over the face of a dying era.